I'm not trying to be no beggar or anything like that, but like at the very least, if I could earn enough just to play the game for free, which would basically cover like my internet costs, and basically like that's the only way I'm gonna do it. If I see if it's benefiting me financially, I'll put more time into it. Like it's at least costing me like over $400-$500 just to play online, just to have the internet running, and like that's money I could be investing in my house. You know, that's way more important. So like I said, you know, I do love Street Fighter, but like I have to take care of more important things. And like I said, you know, the PlayStation itself, you know, as much as I'm gonna miss it, I do think PlayStation 5's controller is the perfect size that it's ever been. It's way better than 4. I thought at first I didn't like it. It felt like a little too sharp, but I think it's way better than PlayStation 4's controller. It feels like the right size. It feels like it's easier to grip now. Like, because it's not rounded, it's kind of a little bit more defined, you know, and I have to say that the directional pad is the best that it's ever been. Like, if I were PlayStation, I would never change this controller for fighting game fans, because it's like, it feels perfect right now. For the first time, I can say PlayStation 3 controller is a little bit too small for my big hands, and PlayStation 4 I thought was way better than 3, which it was, but 5 is the perfect feel and the perfect size. I feel like it really responds the right way. That is a hot song though. This is the hottest song on the entire soundtrack. I gotta find out how to remove every other song in the game, you know, because I just don't want to listen to anything else, basically. Like I said, another thing I noticed in the game, like when you jump, you see that. Did you see what just happened right there? This is another big problem that I have with the game, because this is a huge thing that was possible in the game. You would, let's say you would get a knockdown on your opponent, and then you would try to cross them over on the other side. So basically what that means is like you're jumping over. You see, no matter how hard I try, these are part of the reasons why I'm just gonna retire from Street Fighter now, and just, I don't care about the tournament, I don't care about the money. You're changing things that the fans that have been supporting you guys and playing the game for a very long time. I've been playing the game for well over 20 years, and you know, it brings tears to my eyes basically to see that, you know, I can't do things that I'm already used to doing as a player. I cannot cross over my opponent in the corner and get to the other side. It's a coin toss now. They made it very ambiguous, and it's like, it's a coin toss. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. And that's not what the game should be about. It should not be a coin toss to see, let's see what the game decides where I should land. No, I as a player decided to go to the other side. Give me that option. That's completely unacceptable. Capcom, for me, I really lost interest in the game because of issues like this. I don't care how good the game looks. Stop changing the core gameplay of the franchise. That's what's ruining the game. A lot of these newer characters are basically just duplicates of characters that people would rather see in the game already. Like the fake T-Hawk, female T-Hawk that apparently I guess is the daughter of T-Hawk. I don't know. I didn't play the story. I'm probably not even gonna play the story, because like this is the first time that I can honestly say this is like the menus are horrible. That purple color on the menus is horrible. The menus on Street Fighter V were way better, way easier to you know, see everything. The texts were real big, the buttons were real big. You know, they put the text extremely small in this game. Like when you're in the main game mode option, like for Fight Hub or whatever, and World Tour, you have to press the start button. All the text on the screen explaining what everything is extremely small. Man, I feel like I gotta bring out a magnifying glass. You know, the sound effects are amazing. I gotta say that voice actors did an amazing job, especially Zangief. I think they did a real good job. He was one of the best ones. Like I said, I don't know what the hell, like, I really don't like how they changed that. Look, like right there, I went for a crossover. Whether the opponent's knocked down or not does not change the facts that I could cross over my opponent. Like, let's say my opponent's not quick enough to respond, even if he's standing up, and I just cross him over. I basically got a cross up pressure. which should be respected, because once I break the opponent's defense, and I feel that that is breaking your opponent's defense, getting to the other side is basically having them not even looking in the direction you are. So I say defensively, you cannot block that. So what I'm saying is you can block it, but you can't counter it. And that's the way the game should be. So like right there, I do a knockdown, I'm on the other side, my opponent has to respect that. Whether or not he has meter or not, he has to respect that. That's the way the game should be. Those are issues that make the game way more fun. You getting knocked down and instantly flipping back to your feet, and then like we're back to the same boring game all over again. Because that's what it becomes when you take away issues like that. And a lot of people will say, oh, all opponents do is grab. Not necessarily. There's a lot of things you could do out of that. You know, it's just giving yourself way more opportunity on offense to break your opponent's defense, and that's what fighting games are all about. And everybody knows that Street Fighter, out of all the fighting games, has the least amount of options available on offense when it comes to high and low mix-up. Whether you attack your opponent low or high, there's really not that much variety. There really isn't. In comparison to Tekken and Mortal Kombat, there really isn't. You know, and I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but, you know, this is like, I'm like right here, standing medium punch, can't do it. Look, as you can see, I can do it 10 times out of 10. You know what I mean? It's not me messing up. You really can't. You can't drive rush his standing medium punch. You can't drive rush his crouching hard punch. I can't crouching hard punch, drive rush, then catch him with crouching light kick, crouching jab, Blanca ball, or crouching drive rush, crouching jab, Blanca ball. That's insanity. That's unacceptable for me, man. That's crazy. You know, like I said, I'm probably gonna stick around until basically Optimal Online. I really appreciate that they gave me credit on my account that I could basically play, you know, almost until basically August for free without paying my internet bill. After that, most certainly I'm going to be off of here. I haven't even played ranked yet, but like I said, you know, after that, most certainly I'm basically done with like PlayStation everything. Like the only games that I really like are fighting games, and you know, like they're basically ruining my favorite games by trying to cater to fans that don't even put the time and the effort to be as good as all the other amazing players out there. Me being the best, of course. But that's besides the point, you know what I mean? It's just like right there, I can't even crouching medium kick into drive rush. So basically, as Blanca, like I can't crouching medium kick into drive rush. That's unacceptable for me. I could standing light kick, I could crouching jab, I could standing jab and standing light kick. Why would I want to though? That's the point. You, as an experienced player, you should ask yourself, why would you want to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, what, did they adjust this so that it makes sense now that you would do that? I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I do like that drive rush thing, but like I said, like unless like right there, you know, you can catch your opponent off guard with it, and it is useful, but I feel like the best players are like going to just like, you know, I don't know how else to say it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm very disappointed with some of the things in the game. They're taking away the very core of what makes the game fun in the first place. Street Fighter has always been a game like about like really pressuring your opponent and putting them in very difficult situations. And they're really changing that, you know? And, you know, I feel like they did the right thing by like basically changing the game where you have to be correct, you know, on offense. Like, let's say, for example, like even Guile should not be immune to the rule, you know? Like if he's like doing crouching medium kick, crouching medium punch into sonic boom, he should have to combo that. It should be way easier to counter him if he's wrong on that. Because if you guys know the game, Guile's main tool to pressure the opponent without the, you know, is basically the flash kick. I mean, not the flash kick, is the sonic boom. And just because he throws a sonic boom does not mean he should be able to get away with being wrong. Like, he should have to still be right. Like, and it should be way easier than just, you know, like, for example, you know, the counter for that. Like, I don't even know what the counter is for that because I haven't tried it in this game. But that's not the point I'm trying to make, though. Like, the point I'm trying to make is it should be way easier. Like, I understand what they're trying to do, but, like, the recovery time on the sonic boom could be a little bit longer, and the hit stun could be a little bit longer, just for that specific situation. That way, when you count, like, if they miss, you could counter your opponent way better. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you crouching jab, sonic boom is gonna hit stun them and recover long enough that it's like, you know, I don't know. I guess it's hard finding the right balance in the game to really keep the combos going. But I feel like they're breaking away from keeping the combos going. They're like making it basically where it's like, are you right or are you wrong? I like it better that way. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the changes they've made in Street Fighter V and Street Fighter 6. I feel like the game is the way it should have been 20 years ago. It should have been right and wrong 20 years ago. It was not right and wrong 20 years ago. It was, are you able to, like, jump my fireball in time or you're gonna have to deal with it type shit. Like, but like now it's like you don't have to do that anymore because you know, you still have to kind of do that, but like I'm saying, like, close range. I'm talking close range. I'm talking close range. He has to be right. And for Blanca Ball, like, for example, another thing that I don't like is that Blanca Ball on block, obviously they're not blocking. You see, on block, he gets pushed so far away that it's hard to counter him. And I think that's one of his strongest tools, is that it's not really fair. It's not programmed correctly. On block, he should be right where the opponent is. He should not be falling all the way back here to make it where it's like, oh, you could only counter him with super or something like that. That's stupid to me. And it's not even easy to do unless you have modern controls. So like, you block his hard punch Blanca Ball, and he's like back here already. And that's like completely unacceptable. And that's the only reason people are picking him, is because it's not that he's good, he's hard to counter. And that's not what the game should be about. It should be, are you good as a player or are you not good as a player? And I feel like recently they have been changing it in that direction, but then they leave a character like this from Brazil that's complete, you know, trash, because, you know, you block his Blanca Ball and then you're 20 feet away from your opponent. So like, and they're still not changing stuff like that. You know, they might not hear me when I say it, but like, they should hear me when I say it, because I've been complaining to them about the same shit for a few years now. And that doesn't seem like it's that difficult of a change to make for a talented computer programmer, which I know the United States and Europeans have, because they created the very logic behind computer programming. So if you create the logic to make this a reality where in a Mario game you jump on an opponent's head and he freaking gets hurt, it's the same logic in this game. I throw a kick and it hits the opponent at a certain time, and they look like they're getting hit by it, and it looks like it's hurting. Why? Because they put the sound effects and the animations to, you know, basically, you know, interact with each other to the point where it starts to fucking look real and shit. You know what I'm saying? It starts to feel real, like it's a real fight happening, even though it's just a bunch of, you know, artists that are making it look like it is. A bunch of computer programmers that are putting the artists, you know, talent together to make it look like it is. I know it's possible, and I'm sure they're like, oh, we have our reasons. No, that's not a good enough reason. Like, I understand, yeah, I could do, you know, crouching medium kick into, you know, and dash forward with the command dash. Yeah, I could do that. But guess what? I can't really keep the combo going. You know what I'm saying? That's not a true combo right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. But if the crouching medium kick went into drive rush, you know, if I could do crouching medium kick into drive rush, that would keep the combo going. Guess what? That would keep the combo going and the pressure going, and that would make him a better character. Because I feel like if you know Blanka well enough, if you've been playing the game long enough, you know all his tricks. You know all his tricks, so you know what the hell he's going for when he goes for that. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I would have uploaded the matches I did with Blanka where I beat actual players that thought they were amazing with Balrog with my trash Blanka. Like, I only played him online like 3 times, and I was able to like embarrass him in 1 round where it looked like he didn't even know what he was doing. So like, that's the point I'm trying to make. Every character should have that kind of variety to their game. That new character JP, it looks like complete trash. I tried to combo his projectiles. I couldn't combo them unless it was like hard punch. You know, that's unacceptable to me. As a fan, that's unacceptable to me. Don't even waste your time making those characters if they're gonna be complete garbage. Because I try to play some of the new characters and I feel like they're complete garbage. The only one that I thought was real good was the one that drinks. The one that drinks, Jamie, I think his name is. That's the only character I thought was good. That spray paint bitch, I think, looks pretty damn dope as well. But like, everyone else looks kind of corny to me. It kind of like fake. I would have much rather had Corinne instead of that big blonde bitch that looks like a fake ass Zangief. You know what I'm saying? I much would have rather had Corinne or Lucia, you know, which is way cooler, way better characters in my opinion. But like I said, I love Street Fighter, but I feel like more and more it's not feeling like Street Fighter anymore. And it's because of stuff like this. I can't get to the other side in the corner. And I can, but it's a complete coin toss. It's a complete coin toss now. The game decides now for you. I have gotten to the other side when I was practicing, you know, in the beta. Not even the beta, the demo. I got to the other side somehow, you know, and it's like, it's not consistent. It's really not. Like, I'm very confused by that. I'm very confused by the development of that. Everyone's gonna try to win this tournament for $1 million, and that's the only reason they bought the game. Had you not put money on the table and try to coerce them and bribe them into playing the game, this game would have flopped. This game would have been the most traded in game in GameStop in the history of games that are traded in. Had you not put money on the table, everyone that bought this game, with the exception of the big diehard fans that would have still gave it a shot because it's the new game, would have traded this game in. And that's pretty damn sad. From a development standpoint, that's pretty damn sad. The fact that you can't give your characters the same approaches that every other character has, it's so unbalanced. It's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me that they have not made it more balanced so that a character like Zangief can do crouching medium kick into drive rush, or crouching medium kick into lariat. You get what I'm saying? I love that they gave him the drop kick. You know, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. You know, but like, that's part of what makes the drive rush so good, is that like, you could basically go full screen with an attack that normally only goes half screen. So it's adding like way more momentum to it. That's why drive rush is so important for some of these weaker characters that I feel are in the game right now, because right now, currently, I think like the only 2 characters that, like, I feel like Luke and Ken are the only good characters in the game right now. Like, with the exception of maybe some of the newer characters, I really haven't put the time in. Like, I really want to, but, you know, like I said, I don't know what to say about this game. I don't know how to feel about this game, really, as a fan. As a fan, I feel like the people that they should be catering to are the true fanatics of the game, like myself, that have been playing the game ever since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too specific about it, but when this game first came out, I was a little kid, and I have not stopped playing the game ever since. So I have realistically been supporting the company, Capcom, way longer than any of these new fans have. And if you think I was not actually buying the games, you're crazy. You're crazy, man. You know, I was getting basically still all the games that I was a fan of, man. I loved all those games. I have been supporting it ever since back then, man. And like the fans that you should be catering to, you're not. And this is why. Stuff like this is taken away from what makes the game good. Lack of variety and stuff like this. Like, oh, okay, no, I could do light kick. My bad. I'm sorry for prematurely saying that. So I can go medium kick. You just can't do hard kick. You just can't do hard kick. Hard kick has a different, I guess, trajectory or whatever. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but... So, like, yeah, you can do it. That's very important to him, because I like to do jump-ins. I like to do jump-ins into down, because it's way easier to keep a down charge off a jump-in by going down. I hate doing back. You know, I hate doing back instead of down. So, yeah, you can. I was wrong for prematurely saying that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really properly tested the game, so I may be wrong of some of the stuff I'm saying, but like I said, goddamn, you can't even cross over your opponent anymore in the corner. Like, this is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, so like, let's say this is what a cross-up is. When people say cross-up, that means you're just jumping over your opponent and going to the other side. But before you get to the other side, you could hit them from behind, basically. So like, that's what they call a cross-up. Is a cross-up attack is when you jump over your opponent and you hit them behind their head. You're aiming for the back of their head, basically. So like, if you do it correctly, if like, let's say I do a jumping attack right here, they have to block back. They have to hold away from me. And this is what makes it so good, is that right now he has to hold back to block me. But if I jump here, he has to hold forward to block me. So that's what makes that tool so strong in Street Fighter, is that if you really see, that makes it, especially when you're first getting up, it makes it a difficult situation to really know where your opponent is going to attack. Are they going to attack in front of you or behind you? And that's why it's important for it to be in the game, because this game really lacks the most variety when it comes to offense, attacking your opponent low or high. See, like, look at the range on that. That's so bad. You know, the range on that should be more like that. You know, when you do forward, I think that's pretty good range. I mean, I'd be wrong to say, like, I think you should still be like over here and still being able to do it, is what I'm saying. That's part of why I like third strike way better, is because from here you could still do a universal overhead, hit your crouching opponent, and combo into super. Like right there, if the overhead hits on the first hit, I should be able to combo into super. Like off of the drive rush. You know, it shouldn't even do a knockdown. It shouldn't even do a knockdown. Keep them in hit stun. That way I can combo super off of moves like that. That would make the character 100 times better. That would make some of these weaker characters 100 times better. If normally, like, let's say the sweep hits, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to go, oh, no. But by the way, that goes under projectiles. If you guys don't know the game, you should, because it is an amazing game. But it should not knock the opponent down. If I do crouching hard punch, don't knock the opponent down. Give them so much hit stun that I can still combo super. I can still combo super. If the down forward, in between down and forward, down toward the opponent, with hard punch does a sweep. It should not be a sweep. Make it hit stun so that now I'm excited about Street Fighter. If you leave them standing, I'm excited about Street Fighter. I understand this should be his sweep. He should still have a sweep, so you have that option of doing cross up. You know what I'm saying? Like right there, you know, I'm missing it because I'm looking like a real scrub right now. And that looked real bad right there. You know what I mean? Like right here. See, like, it doesn't give you that proper time to really kind of adjust your positioning before the opponent's on the on his feet again. Give the character more time to do shit like that. Stop rushing the game. That's why you can't get the frame rates right anymore, because you're doing too many animations at once. There's a projectile on the screen. I'm moving. The character's getting on his feet. He's getting up. There's too many animations loading at the same time, and that's your own fault. That's your fault as developers for not allowing situations that have occurred to exist. Look at that. He's already on his fucking feet. I haven't even gotten a chance to position myself to go for that situation yet. That's insanity to me. I have to say, that's not enough time. Look at that. I have to kind of rush it. I'm like, okay, do I got it? Oh my God, I got it. Thank God I got it, because it's like, you have a millisecond to decide, am I at the right spot? Okay, I'm going for it. That's insanity to me. You know what I'm saying? That's insanity to me, man. That's insanity to me. I know it's like, people are like, why is he talking about spirituality in a Street Fighter channel that no one listens to? Well, I hope people do listen to it and spread the word. Maybe they know way more people than me, because it's really not fair to do that to nobody. And in case you guys don't know, doing that to somebody is no different than doing that to them physically. So like, if you guys think you're not breaking the law by pretending to check or whatever the hell you think you're doing, you are. So like, that's a lot of the reasons why you guys like end up where you end up, and then you're very confused because you guys don't know the law. You guys don't even know the Constitution as good as you think you guys know the Constitution. So like, you guys are being real ignorant and real stupid because I guess you don't care, you know what I'm saying, of the consequences or whatever. But like, you should, because if you say you care about your families like you pretend to, you wouldn't be behaving the way you do, because that's what's taking you away from your own family. And at any time, the law could basically come and intervene and go, I'm tired of your nonsense. And that's why you guys end up the way you guys do. You know what I'm saying? For your own stupidity. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know our people, Latin American people, you know what I'm saying, Spanish people, and Central South American people, they don't deserve the kind of abuse that some of these punk wannabe tough guys that are in gangs and whatever the hell you want to call it, they don't deserve what they get from them. In fact, they shouldn't even be out here, because the reality is they're the one wasting people's time. They're trying to prey on innocent, hardworking people that don't deserve it. They're the terrorists. They're the ones torturing people and thinking that it's funny and it's a joke, and it's really not. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. It's the exact, they are the Satanists, and they pretend that they're cool and they're tough, and they're the exact opposite of that. So, myself being a victim of their stupidity and their ignorance, I say it because they've basically, spiritually tormented me for a very long time now, and I figured out how to stop that. So I would like people to know how to stop that for themselves, because they may be going through the same struggle that I had to learn for myself. No one taught me anything. No one said, hey, if someone's, harassing you spiritually, telepathically, whatever you want to call it. I call it spiritually because our ancestors taught us spiritually. So the people that taught us, we should honor that and still continue to call it spirituality, because that's exactly what it is. And in case you guys don't know it, look up the word telepathy. That's exactly what spirituality is. That's the communication that some people pretend is not real so that they can try to remove you prematurely from society, and ignorant stuff like that, when they should be honoring our Spanish people who work real hard, as well as the most hardworking Central and South American people out there, which people at the very least should honor and respect that, because the reason people are able to go to the supermarket and easily put food in their shopping cart is because of people like them that wake up 5, 6 in the morning before the sunlight is even out, and they're getting up even though they really don't want to make society a better place and the world a better place by working in shops that make clothing and food and prepare the food for us and all that. And if you cannot honor and respect that, then you do not belong in society right now, because you are a disgrace of a man or woman for not honoring that. Because as a man, I really think hard about that, and I go, those people deserve way more pay. You know, those people that are doing like dangerous roofing, construction jobs deserve the salaries that some of these sport athletes are getting, because they are doing what really matters and they are putting their life on the line, and that is not a joke. The fact that you cannot give them way more than they're getting right now is an insult when you're giving athletes that don't deserve a goddamn thing. Athletes and musicians and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, I love music. I dabble in it myself. I don't consider myself a musician. I'm just trying to come up with some hot shit bitches could shake their ass to, because that's all I care about. I don't care about being the dopest rapper or the dopest producer. I don't care about rap like that anymore. I used to when I was younger. I don't care about none of that. I just want to make hot shit that bitches will shake their ass to, because that's all I personally care about when I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, obviously, if I put out, let's say I put out a song and it does good and it brings me a lot of money, I'm not going to deny it and be like, no, all this money should go to the people that make roofs and stuff. No, I'm going to keep the money in my goddamn pocket, just like any other person out there. I'm saying that, you know, at least when it comes to music, it's something that's really like, for people that are being tormented out there, putting music on really drowns out all their stupidity. And entertainment really drowns that out. And it's really not fair that they pretend to check and torment and harass people and try to prey on them spiritually to see if they're awake or asleep, because that's what they're really using it for. If you guys think I'm joking, I'm really not, and I hope you guys take really big precaution with what I'm saying, because spiritually, when I say spiritually, a lot of people might be confused. So let me say the real word that it is. You know, telepathically, that's what people call it, telepathy. Just look up that word. A lot of people think it's fake. A lot of people pretend it's fake. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say any more about it. I'm keeping it real with you guys. You guys can deny me all you want, but it is true. A lot of people don't tell you about it. Your friends that you have known for 20 years have known about it, and they will not tell you about it. And that's heartbreaking to me. Because as a friend, if I knew about it, I would tell everyone I knew about it, because it's so important to know in society. You know, the only people that are really teaching their people about it, other than like Hindu and Asians, Buddhists, are teaching each other about it, because it is part of nature. It is part of our natural capabilities. Even though it seems so fake and seems so unbelievable, it's real. Hindus are teaching their people about it. That's why they wear the red dot on their head. Don't doubt what I'm saying. I'm not joking right now. I joke around a lot and I like to make people laugh. But when you see Hindus wearing the red dot on their head, they are blatantly obvious about expressing the true natural spirituality that we've been given. And it's because of our ancestors before us who really learned and really experimented with the spirituality to find out what is the best way to use this. Unfortunately, it gets corrupted by a bunch of punk gang members that think they're brave and think they're tough when they're really just a bunch of cowards holding hands. So they're misusing it, and I say it out of love as a victim that personally has went through it. What they're really using it for, these gang members, they're using it to find out when people are awake or people are asleep. So you have to be really careful, and you have to stick with your loved ones or stick with your friends 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that shuts down everything they're doing, because they are a bunch of punk gang members that have no real courage, they're too foolishly proud to lose a fight, or at least risk fighting like a real man should, or at least solving a situation like a real man should. But they don't have the brain capacity to do that. You know what I'm saying? And anyone thinking that's hilarious what they're doing, there's also something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's hilarious at all, in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like people that do that, because that's not the way human beings should handle situations with each other. It's not cool for you to hurt somebody, and just because you have an advantage, like, oh, their guard is down, so I could hurt them however I feel like, as long as it's benefiting me. That's not the way people should be in society. You know what I'm saying? Because what they like to do, these punk gang bangers, they like to sit around while other people go out and work real hard in society. They sit around waiting for a government check, and then they'll sit around practicing self-defense and working out all day and all night trying to get real big and strong. Then they want to turn that energy against the very people that go out and work hard and make it a reality for them in the first place. Because what's really making it a reality is not the fact that the government is writing you a check. That's not making it a reality for you to buy food or any of that. What's really making that a reality for you is the hardworking Central South American and Spanish people that go out there and work hard, that sweat and work hard so that there is food on the shelves when you go to the supermarket. So if you guys cannot teach your people and your young ones the right way to go about it and really honor that, you do not belong in society, because you are a terrorist and you do not deserve anything. And the fact that someone even has to explain that to you is pitiful and is pathetic. What you're really saying as a man is that you don't have the courage to address a situation like a man should. You don't have the approach to express yourself like a man should. You're too busy trying to impress your friends that probably don't even really care about you. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave it at that. I'm not trying to be a beggar and like, oh guys, support the channel so I could play video games for free all day. No. I've always been a true fan of Street Fighter, and this for me is a little heartbreaking, I'm not gonna lie. There's not enough variety. There's a lot of situations where the opponent is knocked into the air or a hard knockdown. I'm not saying a character can't sweep. If you want to sweep your opponent, if you feel there's an opening and you want to go for a sweep and a cross-up, use the one sweep on that opponent has. You know, that you can still, I'm not saying take away the sweep. I'm saying, you know, I know it's a little weird to this is the only medium that I can really express that it's really happening. And I really hope that people spread the word and express to each other, because, you know, if you think you can't communicate telepathically, everyone can. You know what I'm saying? You guys can believe what you want. You know, I don't care how people perceive it. It's my constitutional right to spread the word of what's really happening, because unfortunately, no one ever taught me any of it. And it's a damn shame, because I know I would have blatantly explained to my kids. If I had kids, I would have blatantly expressed to my kids. I would have blatantly and obviously expressed, hey, look, you know how we could communicate with our mouth? We can also communicate with our brain. You know, if you don't believe me, if you don't hear any voices at all, you're blessed. Okay? Because if you don't know what that feels like, they're only making you stronger. The one weakness that they'll try to use is they'll try to be annoying with their spirituality. Don't ever look at it, even though they might try to be, don't ever look at it as they're being annoying or they're bothering you, because that's what they want. Because that's gonna wear you down mentally, and that's what they want. That'll destroy you before your time, because a bunch of idiots can't leave you alone, right? So this is how you should approach it. Can you interfere with them doing it? Yes, you can, which is what I recommend everyone does, even though people should not have to. Like I said, if you hold any steady image, it's going to distract them. And any steady image that you hold is going to distract them to the point where they can't think of you successfully anymore. And that's what they really want to do. Believe me, if they know it's you and they know about telepathy and they know spirituality, they're going to know it's you regardless. But the more you do it and the more they try to think about you, the more it's going to interfere with them doing it. And in fact, if anyone checks on them, images are going to show up for them. So people are going to get curious as to why they're trying to block people from checking them. So it's only going to make them more suspicious spiritually. And it's also going to make them easier to check spiritually as well. So they're stupid for doing it in the first place. Which is what I recommend everyone does, because everyone should be able to express themselves spiritually. They are the Antichrist. If you guys do not know the Constitution as good as I do, most people don't. And Antichrist just means people are holding you back from your spirituality. That's what that really means. People are waiting for it to be Bin Laden and you know, that Satan's gonna come in the flesh. That's bullshit. There's just good and bad people. There always has been. You know what I mean? So basically, these idiots are usually punk gangbangers that want to hold people back from their spirituality. They have no legitimate reason why they're even checking, people out. I understand checking people in relationships you might be in to see if they're right for you and all that. That's understandable. You know what I'm saying? We all should do that, right? But what happens when someone holds you back entirely from doing that? Should you be held back from spiritually checking what's the best, possible situation for you? No, you should not be. I just wanted to see if I was still streaming, which I am, because otherwise I'd be wasting my time. But like I said, if you hold any steady image, especially images that are easy to remember, like let's say you're walking around and you're not really sitting focusing like Gandhi or whatever the hell to focus on who it is or whatever, you can still you could interfere with their telepathy and their spirituality. Hold any easy, steady image. For a brief second, just think of something that's real easy to remember, but not something that's so personal that it might bring it back to you. You get what I'm saying? Is my recommendation. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think of your own house, it's only going to bring your own house into the situation. Even though I think that's the right thing to do, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to bring them out to be like, oh, why are you thinking someone's house right now? You probably should do images like that, but the problem with doing like corrupt images, like let's say if you think of like Freddy Krueger or something like that, people are going to start questioning that if you're the psychopath, which you're not, which most people aren't, right? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't, no one ever explained that to me. I know all my friends that I grew up, because I went to private school like basically my whole life, and I know all my friends knew about it. I know all my friends knew about it. Not one of them came forward and told me about it. Not one of them ever pulled me to the side and went. The moment I found out, I would have went to every last one of their houses and went, yo, dude, people are communicating spiritually, right? And everyone could do it, right? Like I would have blatantly said it. I wouldn't have held it from them. That's not what a fucking true friend would do to you. Like, because their parents will teach them, but then they won't tell you about it. And that's like heartbreaking to me. Because there's a lot of situations that I could have found out and avoided had I known about it. I could have preemptively known if this piece of shit is a piece of shit before I ever hung out with his ass or hung out with her. I could have known if it was worth hanging out with them or not, and being social with them before I ever was social with them. And you held that back from me. And I don't want to hear that you guys don't teach each other in the European community. That's very heartbreaking to me that a lot of my friends never even came to me and told me about it. That's heartbreaking. There's a lot of situations I went through that I could have probably never went through at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's heartbreaking to me, man. Like, as a true friend, I would have went to all of you guys, man. I would have told you guys no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't pick up the phone when I call. I don't know what to believe. I call them, they avoid my call. I understand they have kids and they have, they have to keep their eye on them. But goddamn, when the kid goes to sleep, send me a text. Send me a fucking phone call. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I mean, if I had kids and my friend for 20, 30 years gave me a fucking phone call or text that I missed, I would get back to them, yo, what's up, right? Yeah, fuck right. You know what I mean? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of those gummies. I recommend you do not do that. Also, because that's horrible for you. Anyone that's basically trying to get you to do that, drinking and smoking weed or smoking cigarettes and hold up. Okay, I'll move it. Stop banging on the door, bro. Stop banging on the door, bro. Just say it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Stop banging on the door, bro. Yeah, stop banging on the door. Stop banging on the door. Okay. Yeah. I'm busy right now. Yeah, I'm listening to my stupid brother right now. Hold up. So basically, you can move it as well. You can move it out the way as well. This is not a business. I know the law. Stop it. Yeah. So basically, that's my older brother. He thinks he's a genius or whatever. He's really not. So basically, he doesn't know. You know, his approach is completely out of whack. Like I said, that's why me and him don't really get along, because of his stupidity, not mine. You know, I don't really care. You know, I don't need no one. I don't care if it's family or not. I don't need nobody holding me back from my true potential with negativity. I really don't need that. I don't care if it's my mom. I don't care if it's my dad. I don't care if it's my sister, my brother, my friend that I've known for 20 years. I don't need that. I don't take that from nobody. I don't accept that from nobody. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, yo, everything I'm saying is true. You guys can look it up. If you guys don't believe me, it's real. Close your eyes, and with your eyes are closed, think of any other person out there that you know. Preferably think of someone that you're really either trying to check, or it works better in groups. Honestly, I'm trying to explain as best as I know, because no one ever explained to me this. It works best in groups because it's easier to see the true. What you should be checking for is images, not for thoughts, because you're going to be able to hear them communicate back with you. But you should not be paying too much attention to the thoughts. You should be paying way more attention to the images that show up, because there's a lot of fake people that pretend to know how to check, but they're not checking correctly. The images are what you should be checking, and for a definitive answer. So like, let's say for example, someone murdered somebody. The true act of them murdering somebody will never go away from their conscious. And what you're going to be able to do, especially it's easier with groups checking at the same time spiritually, is that you're going to be able to find out if that person is a murderer or not. Something that they would hide from the rest of society. Now, the problem with a lot of these gangbangers is they know that this is real and people are checking for them spiritually, so they'll do things like wear masks. That won't change the truth. The fact that they're still a piece of shit that does horrible things will always remain true in their conscience. They'll never be able to forget it. As much as they try to undo their wrongdoings spiritually on people's head, it'll never change the fact that they're lying and they're fake. Because people do not make those kind of transactions spiritually. They make them verbally, or, you know, in a contract. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what I'm trying to. I'm busy right now. Okay, all right, yeah. So stop banging the door. You're gonna mess my door up, bro. Stop banging the door, bro. Yeah. Okay. Well, you should, because you're gonna mess my shit up. You don't have the right to, so stop. Yeah, my brother thinks he has the right to do this and that. He doesn't have the. So basically, I'm gonna pause the stream right now. If you don't believe what I'm saying is true, it is. My brother's, you know, being ignorant right now and immature. So, you know what I'm saying? He's being ignorant. He could easily pick up a chair that's in the hallway and move it out the way, but he wants to feel like some sort of power. He wants to have some sort of authority. And he wants to feel like he has some sort of authority over somebody, and he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know what I mean? Like I said, if you don't believe everything I'm saying is true, you guys can laugh all you want, but everything I'm saying is true. There's a proper way to approach people and communicate with people, and that's why I do like a lot of what Europeans, which I am in part as well, but I consider myself 100% European, because, you know, after the circumstances I've been put through, I don't consider myself to be a part of any real community out there other than the European community, because those are the only people that have ever really, with the exception of not teaching me about spirituality, those are the only people that ever really treated me the way people should treat. You know what I'm saying? I don't need my brother. I don't need nobody. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I have, you know, friends that treat me like family more than he does, and I don't need him. I don't need him. To me, he's no different than an enemy. I don't need him. I don't need him in my life. I don't care about him. If he died today, I would not care about him. I would not cry. If he died today, I would not cry. I would not even go to the funeral. So if you guys think I'm lying about what I'm saying, try it out,